This is the Eye for an Eye channel. Welcome to today's show. I had to do a video covering this latest Britney Spears MK Ultra breakdown because people don't realize that that's what's happening. And the media glorifies this because the handlers of these people absolutely love mocking, exposing this stuff to the dumbed down zombies in our society. Britney Spears continues to have breakdowns because Britney Spears has been groomed since she was a child in the occult. And Britney Spears' brain, just like all of these celebrities at this point, like, you know, the Kanye West, right? The Shia LaBeoufs, these kids, a lot of them who go through Disney at a young age, their minds start breaking down. That's what ends up happening here, right? We've seen it with Britney over the years. How many times when Britney's leaving a rehab, when Britney's shaving her head, when Britney's smashing windows with umbrellas, like remember Shia LaBeouf showing up on the red carpet, I'm not famous anymore, right? Kanye West showing up after going missing for a while or being underground for a while, being reprogrammed, because what happens is they reprogram them most of the time. We've had other Disney actors and actresses that have had this happen to them where they're literally out in the open, just completely like not human because their brains are completely fried. Their brains are fried from the trauma and the MK Ultra that they're put under. Britney is just one of them. So they continue to mock everybody by, you know, glorifying this stuff. They love putting Britney out there. Her handlers are the ones who are having Britney post all this ridiculous crap online. And then all the fans are like, I'm so worried about Britney, free Britney, et cetera, et cetera. They don't realize, they think that this is about like a crazy Christian father, of course, which I covered years ago. The controlling Christian father type thing. People don't have a clue what this is really about. So I'm going to cover it here just quickly, just to remind everyone, because I want you to see just the latest MK Ultra breakdown. Now, Britney's another person who has talked about selling her soul, right? Britney, I'm going to show you a clip of what recently happened with Britney with knives, you know, doing dances with knives in her kitchen. Just behavior that's not normal behavior, where people see it and they're like, oh, poor Britney. And the handlers of these people love it. They get off on this because they love watching these people that they've destroyed, their brains that they've destroyed. They love watching them break down in society. They make them post stuff like this. And then they love the fact that the fans are so clueless. They watch it and they're like, oh, poor Britney because of her dad. And yeah, well, her dad was involved because how do you think Britney got into it in the first place? Like all these kids who go through Disney, they go through Nickelodeon. Again, this is all done and brought on by the parents. So I do have sympathy for them. But I have more sympathy for the kids out there who are getting brainwashed by these people and getting into the occult and occult practices. So it's hard for me to have sympathy for them when they're still adults doing this stuff, when I feel like there's nothing stronger than the Holy Spirit, and the Holy Spirit could lead them out of this, but they continue to go out there and, you know, they continue to obviously influence people and, you know, poison people, poison children. So here's a clip now talking about Britney Spears, a recent interview which talks about selling her soul to the devil. And of course, you'll see the knife clip.
Britney Spears made a deal with the devil. Well, she opened up in the newest issue of InStyle magazine and she talked to the magazine about how the paparazzi and the media in general are really harsh on pregnant celebrities. So she told the interviewer, quote, I feel it's cruel how the world puts so much emphasis on our looks. I was just watching Keeping Up with the Kardashians and I see Kim and what she went through when she was pregnant. The tabloids were so mean to her because she was big. She goes on to say, that should be the time in your life when your body is the most treasured, but in this business you make a deal with the devil.
Britney Spears dancing with knives. I started playing in the kitchen with knives today. Watch as she spins around her house twirling the blades. Don't worry, they are not real knives. Halloween is soon, she tells her 42 million followers. But are the knives actually for real? Listen, you can hear the blades scraping together. They sure do seem real. Those knives are definitely not fake, said one concerned fan. This is terrifying, went another. Speaking of dancing, Britney's little sister, Jamie Lynn, is gearing up to make her ballroom debut tonight on the new season of Dancing with the Stars. She's been posting rehearsals with her professional partner, Alan Burston, even giving fans a preview of her turquoise costume for her first dance. Big sister Britney will be cheering her on. Let's just hope without anything sharp.
So that's obviously not normal, right? And of course the police showed up and did a wellness check. And it's just year after year we hear about these MK Ultra breakdowns of Britney. Britney, of course, has shown us that she's under mind control. You know, we've seen the all-seeing eye symbolism. Of course, this all starts, like I said earlier, with Disney. It starts with going through the mind control programming they go through. People don't realize that Disney is CIA headquarters down there. All these kids that go through the Mickey Mouse Club, they go through this stuff and they become influencers at a young age. They go through it, they're put under mind control. You cannot bring your kid to Disney and expect your kid to be on TV in the Mickey Mouse Club. But the suckers out there actually believe, like, my kid's cute. My kid could sing. Oh, wow, great. Everybody's kid could do those things. But, I should have my kid on Disney. And they literally, first of all, they're so psychopathic, they try to force this stuff on their kids. Luckily, a lot of them aren't in the occult, so it never pans out. But obviously, it's a sign immediately of bad parenting. But these kids who get pushed to the TV or who are famous now, that's just a telltale. You check it off the list as to who they are, what they are. Their parents groom them, they put them in here, and then these kids grow with the people who watch it. So in other words, young kids who watch the Mickey Mouse Club, young kids, they started with them at a young age, watching them on Mickey Mouse. Then Britney becomes a singer. Justin Timberlake becomes a singer. Ryan Gosling becomes a famous actor. Christina Aguilera, right? And they continue, and their behavior is influenced by how these people are acting in society. That's the point, right? So these kids are obviously under mind control. They're abused at a young age, and their parents are all members. That's the key. They're all members of secret societies. They're members of the occult. That's what they're members of, whether it's free, and it's bigger than Freemasonry and, just the D-Malay and stuff when you're getting pushed through Disney like this, right? And of course, these are all people still who are major famous people. So we've seen the ritual on TV before with Britney. When Britney did the ritual with Madonna at the VMAs, it was a 100% Masonic ritual right in front of our eyes. Madonna came down the staircase. The staircase is used prominently in Freemasonry. She descended from the staircase and then initiated Britney. Britney at this point, maybe they were just saying, we're going to completely destroy your life at this point by kissing this. Ugh, I don't want to bully Madonna here, but oh my goodness. So Madonna came down with the top hat. Everybody just thought this was some edgy thing. It was a ritual right on stage where she French kisses her. And then, of course, we've seen the breakdowns I've covered over the years, right? The posts that she puts on her Instagram account with the 33s, with the all-seeing eye, right? And then, of course, you have all these symbols, and people don't realize what they are. It's alchemy, okay? That's used in witchcraft. She's showing you these things. They show you over and over and over, right? But people just see it's like, oh, Britney Spears posted this picture. Oh, it just means that she's a giant kid. She's a slave to mind control. She's a servant to these people. She's telling you that in a sense, but really her handlers are the ones who are posting a lot of this. And then Britney goes on again with the monarch butterflies, right? We always see the same stuff. I've always mentioned that. We see the same stuff. Monarch butterflies and bird cages. This is a telltale sign that somebody is completely under mind control. They're completely under the control of a handler. Okay, and people are like, well, the handler's her father. Well, it goes deeper than that. Okay, their kid, the parents aren't really in control of the kids at this point. It's their handlers who are just people you'll never know or see, who are billionaires, and you don't know why. Then, of course, you'll find out they're into art or something because they won't tell you how they made all their money, which is really through the stuff they do with kids. That's why you see these people are like, how did they make all that money? They're like, oh, they invested it. Oh, yeah, they invested in kids. So it's sickening, I know. And then, of course, you see the all-seeing eye symbolism over and over with Britney. It's just nonstop with these people. The breakdowns are nonstop with these people. And they love glorifying it. That's why they show Britney Spears with knives, right? That's why they show Britney, and they make a huge deal about it. Huge deal. Why would Britney post it? Britney has nobody there. They'd be like, hey, Britney, you probably shouldn't post this with you with knives on your Instagram. People think that she's just there by herself, right? Britney's just there by herself. Who recorded it? So somebody recorded it and didn't say, hey, Britney, you probably shouldn't post this. They might call the cops and have them come here. Britney demanded it be posted. They tell them what to do. So whoever was there was likely one of the handlers. They have many handlers. But they love getting this out in the open. They love showing this stuff because they love what they've done to these people. They've created these people. They've taken them. They've molded their minds. They put them through trauma-based mind control. And then they flaunt them out to society. And then everybody worships these people, right? And then they get off on the fact that they're the ones who are controlling these people. So Britney Spears has 50 million, I think it was, Instagram followers, they said. Something like that. 50 million Instagram. So some guy you'll never know about, some wicked, evil person. Just imagine like what we think of Dahmer or any of these people hiding somewhere, never knowing who they are committing those types of crimes. That's what these people are. So the fact that they're getting it's like a serial killer. They're getting attention because they feel like they're getting attention because Britney's getting all this attention, and then they're the ones who are responsible for what they've done to her and all of these other people, all these other people in Hollywood. And again, They love also putting the conspiracies out about Britney not being the same Britney or Britney being in a green screen. There's a lot of truth to that as well, obviously, that these people are cloned and replaced. But a lot of them also have MK Ultra breakdowns. They're not human at this point. Their brains are completely gone. Completely gone. So I saw this was trending on CNN was promoting it, and I saw the video, and I'm just like, they're just getting a kick out of this. They're getting a kick out of what they've done and do to these people. Then they love watching the reaction of the zombies out there who are just so clueless. They're like, oh, Britney, somebody help Britney. Is Britney okay? No, Britney's not okay. None of them are okay. And guess what? You're not okay for caring and not understanding what's happening. Because these people that are living around us who we just look at and go, oh, they're rich, they're famous, that's great, they're wonderful people. You don't know where they're really making their money from. I do. The people listening to this channel do. Because it's the biggest business in the world. And I've said it for years, even though I'm a new YouTuber. I've said it for years, and I'll continue to say it. The biggest business in the world is what they do underground with these young people. That's the biggest business. And these people who were once the abused are now abusers. So that's why I don't really have sympathy for them. Because I mean, I get it. People out there want to have sympathy because I know that they're like, oh, I have sympathy for them, be a good Christian, etc. But they have sympathy because they're also still under MK Ultra themselves for like worshiping and liking these people. Like, oh, I like Britney. I feel for, well, look, I feel bad for any of these kids that are born into it, of course. But like I said earlier, I believe the Holy Spirit could pull them out of this. And if they seek Jesus Christ, they can find Jesus Christ. And then they can break from this vicious cycle. I don't respect the fact that these people continue to groom young children out there with their behavior. But Britney's a little bit of a different story because I don't even know if Britney's really, really that popular. I know she's an Instagram following, but that's mainly people now who are 30 and 40. And then they raise their kids, right? Because this is how it all happens. They raise their kids playing Britney Spears, playing the stuff that they like because the parents push that back onto their kids. Why do you think they just keep doing remakes and all that stuff? So that they can get the parents to just go see the remake with the kid because the parent already likes it and they don't want to see new things. So it's just a vicious cycle that people need to break free from. But Britney Spears, ladies and gentlemen, playing with knives in the kitchen, they love to show you this stuff because they love what they've done to these people's minds. It's sick, but these people are sick. I thank you for being here. Hope you're all doing well. God bless all of you as always and your families.